about the difference between LLCs versus sole proprietor versus partnerships and all of those things. So as promised, I have brought someone in to go over that with you guys, and her name is Shaniqua Robinson. I'm so excited to bring her on board, and she is a business partner of mine who we have been working diligently to come up with your business plan course that I've been telling you guys about. So without any further ado, I definitely want to introduce you guys to Shaniqua. All right.
Hello, everyone.
And sorry again about this this issue. I like to have everything all set up and looking pretty beforehand, and it just didn't happen this time. But that's okay. We pushed through. All right. So Shaniqua, let me get back here so I can see everyone's comments. Yeah. Oh Lord. Can you bring just bring the whole computer? I'm sorry, you gotta run up and down the stairs. All right, so I don't know if you guys heard me earlier, but just because for my own personal reference, I want to know what type of business you're starting. What business are you starting? What are you looking to start? I know not everyone is looking to start a CNA school, so I want to hear about the different business endeavors that you guys have. We have Tammy Thomas with us. We have the Family Beard. We have Deborah Williams. Thank you so much for joining. Okay. I don't know why. Is everything going in and out on you guys' end? I don't know if it's this. Let's get out of here. That might be that was what's causing it. My sister. When I tell you that anything can possibly happen that can happen, it's gonna happen today. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. We want you to be equipped with the ability to know the difference between whether or not you should start an LLC, a sole proprietor. That's what you're here for. You want to know and understand the difference. I always tell you guys, I can't tell you what type of business to start or to file with the Secretary of State. I don't feel comfortable telling you, but I do want to educate you so that you can make an informed decision. So I wanted to bring Shaniqua on. Shaniqua is a serial entrepreneur. She has started many different businesses. She does real estate. She flips houses. They have a family-owned restaurant. She also has a girls building business camp where she teaches young girls ages 7 through 14 how to become entrepreneurs. She has her go ahead and tell them a little bit about your education and background.
Okay, so I went to the University of Georgia and I graduated with a bachelor's in business management. I also got a certificate in entrepreneurship, organizational leadership, and legal studies. And I've also, of course, learned most about entrepreneurship through being an actual entrepreneur. So my experience has actually taught me most in terms of how to do business and conduct business, especially opening the different forms that I've had. So I've opened a total of 5 different companies, and I'm currently operating 3 of them. So definitely love to share this information that I have with you all today about different forms, because I also remember when I didn't know what structure to go with for my company. So I'm glad to be able to share that information to help you all out today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shaniqua. So we're gonna, without any further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into understanding what type of a business business license you should apply for with the Secretary of State. So let's start. Do you want to start with the LLC or?
I'm going to start with, but first there's about 14 different kinds of business structures, but we're going to discuss the 4 common ones. So that's what Victoria's saying. That's a sole proprietorship, partnerships, LLC, Incorporation. So these are the big 4 that you all have to know that are typically used. So I'm just going to go through those particular ones with you today.
And real quick, so Tammy Thomas is doing a private home care and a CNA school. And then the Family Beard said CNA school costs too much for me to do first. You have to be patient and gather your supplies slowly but surely, and then it won't feel like it costs you so much.
Yeah. And for me, look, money, people come to me all the time. Money is like a #1 concern for people. Honestly, as long as you're in the right mindset and you understand and know that whatever it is that you need will come to you, and you just keep pushing forward every single day, just laying out your plan and being organized, you don't have to worry about that at all. When I was flipping my first house, I needed like $120,000. I didn't have that, but I had the knowledge to help me get access to it. So it's not about what you have, it's about the knowledge that you gained that allow you to get what you need. So you don't have this money or this time and all those things to get into your way, because they definitely didn't stop me, and I was definitely nowhere near the richest person in the world. So
yeah, so go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Go ahead and...
So I'm going to start with the easiest one to start, which is the sole proprietorship. So this one, as you probably know, is an individual running one business on their own. It's the simplest form of business organization, so it's simple to set up, relatively inexpensive compared to the other forms, but it is more risky because you have something called unlimited liability. So if your business owes $100,000 to some sort of creditor, they can not only come after your business assets, but they can also come after your personal assets. So your house, your car, all of that is up for grabs in a sole proprietorship. So you don't have the same protections that you have with some of the other entities. So although it's easiest to set up, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the one that you should go with. Especially when starting a business or a company, we want to ensure that we are protecting ourselves and reducing the risks as much as possible. That's basically, again, it's the simplest, really affordable one to start. The sole proprietorship run by one individual.
Okay.
The next one is a partnership. So this is an agreement that can actually be between two or more people who join together to carry on the venture of the company. This is also relatively simple to set up. Each person involved contributes to the business, whether it's labor, skill, time, money. Each person is pouring in to make sure that the company is successful. And in return for that, each partner shares in the profits, but also the losses of the company. So in a limited partnership, because you have a limited partnership and you also have a general partnership. And the limited partnership, you're actually protected from creditors. So like I was talking about with the sole proprietorship, you're not protected from creditors taking your personal assets. With a limited partnership, you are protected from those creditors being able to take your personal assets, but they can still go after your business assets, but not your personal. So the general one, though, they can come after your personal assets too. So you are going with a partnership, limited is the better one to do. But yes, you can lose your financial investment in terms of the business if something does go wrong. The hardest thing about a partnership is finding the right partner. If most of them fail, it is because somebody did not get a good partner. Their vision wasn't the same. One person was going left, another person was going right. So that's always the difficult part in a partnership. It all starts off nice and well, but you never know how it ends. So that one makes a partnership also quite risky. Even if you do know the person, you just may not have the same business concepts.
Anybody have any questions so far? Feel free to go ahead and type them in as we go. And whenever we break in between each session, we'll explain more or elaborate more if you had a question about that particular business type.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we're definitely looking on the screen. So I'll definitely stop if you have questions as we're going, because again, it's a lot of information. So I'll slow down if read anything. So we've gone through the sole proprietorship, we've gone through the partnership, and now we are at the corporation. So the corporations, these are your big companies, your Apple, Walmart, McDonald's type of companies. This business is owned by many people buying shares of stock. So this is the stock market. You go in, you may pay $50 for a share of owning that company, and then you make dividends off of that if the company is successful. So the shareholders are the ones that share in the profits and the losses. It is extremely complex and expensive to set up compared to the other structures. And it has a higher overall taxes. So they have something called double taxation on corporations. So you definitely pay higher taxes on it, whereas the other ones you only pay one tax, your personal taxes. But it does allow you to raise a lot of capital quickly. So if you wanted to fund yourself, again, if you don't have the money, and you want people to buy into your business, how these companies grow so big is because they can have millions of people putting in stock. So that's how a really good way to raise money if you either do an IPO or you make your company go public. So in order to do this, you can't start off and just say, I want to be a corporation. Like you have to be able to go public first and then have people be able to buy into it. So it's not something that people typically start off as a corporation. But yeah, again, creditors can't come after your personal assets, so it protects you a lot. They could really just go after whatever stock you've purchased or in order to get back any money you may owe. But yeah, you're well protected through the corporation. And the last one is the LLC. So LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. And the LLC is a hybrid between the partnership and the corporation. There's limited liability for the people who form and own the company, which again, back to the whole assets thing. If you owe $100,000 for your business, they can come after your business assets, but it's going to be difficult for them to come after your personal assets because you have that liability protection in there. But it's also great because you don't have the same tax rates as a corporation. So one, you're protected more than you are in a partnership or a sole proprietorship. And then two, you also don't pay as much taxes as a corporation. So it's a good middle ground between the ones that we've discussed before. And then it's a good way to start off. A lot of people start off with an LLC for their business. And
I have a quick question. So what about the people that have their business and it's like such and such incorporated, INC? What does that mean?
Incorporating could literally just mean that you filed with the state and you have a corporate company. Like they can look you up online. You've actually gone through the process of incorporating your company. So sole proprietorship, you can just kind of start that. You don't necessarily have to have documentation. Like you don't have to have filed with the state. You could just have a sole proprietorship. But you can't really get funding for a sole proprietorship because if you want investors, they also want to feel that their investment is protected. So if you don't have papers on your actual business, and especially if it's not an LLC or a corporation or a limited partnership where they can come after your personal assets and stuff, it's not appealing for the investors because that puts their money at risk. So you want to incorporate, or file with the state, make your company formal, make sure that you choose an entity that has those protection mechanisms in it so that investors will feel okay investing in you, in your business.
Okay, so then if I have an LLC, I can be incorporated or no? Or if I have, I'm not sure I understand that part. Like, I understand. I think what I hear you saying is that you become incorporated just behind the action of filing.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter which one of these you are. Just the filing behind it could afford you the ability to use the incorporated portion.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, but because I have seen people that have, because honestly, like they can't necessarily control like the name that you put for your company. So I know people that have LLCs, but they'll put incorporated on the back.
Right.
But my companies, when they're LLC, I just put LLC on the end. So the naming part is more so like on your end. But yeah, it's just overall just saying that you have a structure solidified like for your company you're filing with the state and whatnot.
Can I ask another question? Sorry, I have a lot of questions. I get a lot of questions, and so I want to ask them because I know people are thinking about them. Articles of incorporation. What does that mean? Does that apply to all of these different ones you've discussed? And if it does, is it different for each? I know that was like 3 questions. But...
Yeah, so again, you get your articles after you filed with the state. So again, if you're a sole proprietorship, you don't necessarily have articles because you don't have to be filed with the state to be considered a sole proprietorship.
Okay.
But if you file as the limited partnership or you file as an LLC or a corporation, you will definitely get an articles of incorporation. The articles of incorporation just tells who the owners are. It may have your meeting minutes, some times that you've met up. It has the business address, location, and management organizational information. So you will get an article of incorporation for each one that you start. Actually, haven't personally ran through an article of incorporation for a corporation, but I'm pretty sure that it's much more extensive than the other ones, and that it would be different because, again, like the article states who owns the company.
Okay.
So if you're a corporation, you have people investing in small shares of stock. So that's different from, you know, an LLC or a partnership that may have one or two people as the shareholders of that company. So yeah, it'll definitely be different depending on the structure.
Okay. Sorry, I was wondering about those, and I just wanted to ask those questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to chime in, but I'll let you continue.
So again, just to help you all out, because again, I know it's a lot of information. So you're wondering again, which may be the best structure for you. Again, like Victoria said, I can't tell you what would be the best for you because it all depends on where you are, what your goal is in terms of where you want to go with your company. Me personally, I say the LLC is the best because it's more formal than a sole proprietorship, and it will protect you in a way that a limited partnership or a limited partnership can protect you. You get less taxed than you will in a corporation. And really you can't incorporate again unless your company plans to go public and form that larger style of corporation. So it's a great start off. And in order to get funding, again, you want to make sure that you have that liability protection, and an LLC provides that for you. So yeah, I would recommend, you know, if talking about myself and talking to a lot of other people who come to me with their business thoughts and ideas, usually in their scenario, an LLC is the best start for them. So whether you have done this at all, is your first time starting your company, you can still go ahead and file with the state of an LLC, and then you will be, you know, officially incorporated as that kind of entity.
Okay. All right. So I don't see any questions. So I think that was good information for you then, and a lot of your questions got answered through that. I had a question and it just left me. What was it?
Oh, here's one. Do you need an LLC for a nonprofit? You can even probably answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do actually have to be formally set up as an entity with the state before being able to fill out that tax form for your nonprofit. So yeah, you actually do have to make that form first, get your articles of incorporation, and then you go and apply for the necessary stuff afterwards for your nonprofit.
Yeah, I personally, when I started the nonprofit idea, I didn't know about all the paperwork behind setting up a nonprofit. And so I went online and I did an LLC because I thought that didn't matter. And I went ahead and did an LLC and did all that, but it was just a regular business, for-profit business. And so when I brought an attorney on to help me become a nonprofit, we had to redo all of my articles of incorporation for my business because, to your point, we were now considered a nonprofit organization, and that needs to reflect in your articles of incorporation. So we had to redo all of the articles of incorporation. And actually, if you even go to the state's website, you will see they show that yes, you were once a for-profit entity, and at this date and time, you transferred over and became a nonprofit. So yeah. You got to make sure to be legit in the nonprofit world and to get a 501c3, you definitely have to file everything.
Yeah. And then also in terms of naming your company, if you go to Secretary of State website, like you can't have the same name of a company that already exists within your state. So just make sure, you know, when you're filling it out, it'll tell you if something already exists there, but it won't allow you to make your company if that name already exists within your state. So.
Right. Good question. Good question. Oh, and then I've learned with like a lot of the businesses that I've been consulting with, filing with the Secretary of State for your business type, I mean, it differs tremendously. So like here in the state of Georgia, we just do it online, and it's a very pretty easy peasy situation, but there are some states that you have to actually walk down to the courthouse and fill out the paperwork, and you don't hear back for 3 days, and it can be a long process. So for those of you, in order for you to move forward with a lot of elements like getting your bank account and doing all those things, you really kind of need to have these structures in place. So if it's something that, you know, you decide, oh, today I'm just going to get it all out of the way. That might not be the case. So really look into it and find out for your state. Okay, so
either Florida
is online.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, good. Yeah, some states are still a little old school. So
and you gotta pay your annual fee, or else they can dissolve your entity. So yeah, if you have filed before, you're gonna have an annual fee, renewal fee is what they call it, for your business entity setup.
Yes, and if you're late on that, it looks bad.
Yeah, it does.
And the state tells on you.
They will send you emails.
They will tell on you. It will say on the state's website, when people go to check your business, it will say that you were late in paying your annual dues. And that does not look good when you're trying to partner with other people for business endeavors, because anyone has access to that information. All they have to do is find out everything.
It was use a complex that my sister lived in as another address. So, I mean, I've actually used my home before. Another one I've used my office, another one I've used my sister's complex, but you do have to have an address on there. And you can't have two businesses at the same exact address. So if you start a second company and you already have your house as one address, you can't put another business there. So just make sure if you're starting multiple that you can, oh, she said there's no sound.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Anyone else having a sound problem?
Oh.
That's what I'm telling you. Look.
Oh, this is what they see.
Yeah. It went black. You're black. I can't stand. I don't know. Okay, anyone else having a sound? Can you guys hear me? If you can, let me know. We can see, but they can't. Okay, Deborah. Deborah, can you hear us? Hey, Miss Deborah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you guys can hear us well now, right?
Yeah.
Somebody type yes or no maybe so that we know. But okay, they could see us. Okay, yes. Okay, cool. So I was saying with the address, you want to put each business that you start at a different address. You can't register multiple companies for the same exact address. So one may be your home, another one could be your office, another one can be, you know, your sister's complex that she lives in. That's what I did. So you can't have your businesses all at the same exact address for that.
Yeah, and another thing I want to add is that I know specifically for the state of Georgia, and I'm pretty sure it's the same in most states, that you cannot use a P.O. box. They will not allow you to use a P.O. box for your business. So that's where those awesome services where they give you like an actual address, but it's not really a real address, come in, because you can use those. A lot of the FedEx places provide those type of services. But I'm going to tell you right now, just like she said, it's probably not a good idea for you to use your own personal address, because you'll start getting all type of solicitings. The moment you file with the Secretary of State, everyone knows it, and they start calling you. So you might want to use a separate number. You might want to get a Google Voice number or something. They start calling you. They start emailing you. People are mailing you stuff to your home, all types of stuff. So Be conscious. And then what if you do business with someone and they feel like you didn't do something, to their liking, and they look you up and they find out where you live, or they think where your business is, but they find out that's where you live. So I don't know, I've encountered quite a few crazy people in my time. So I always think about the potential of crazy people. And so for that reason alone, I say probably not best to use your own personal address. All right. What about taxes with LLC and personal income?
Okay, so basically with an LLC, you're still going to file it with your personal taxes. So for mine, how do I explain this? Okay, so you have corporations, they have a double tax. Okay, if you have an LLC and your personal income, you're still going to pay just one tax on that. So no matter what, at the end of the day, they're all going to roll it into one, and then you just pay one tax on that. So the personal, because the LLC is still filed together with your personal, it still comes together at the end of the day. So it's just one tax that you're filing for the year. You're not filing two complete separate ones.
Mm-hmm. And I know we're kind of getting off topic, but make sure that when you're doing that, especially in the beginning phases, when we start an LLC, make sure that you're recognizing and understanding that every single time you swipe a card or you're spending money, that you can use that as a tax write-off. Literally, your the funds that you use to pay for the LLC can be used as a tax write-off, and from there on. So make sure that you, me personally, I'm not good at keeping receipts. So I literally have a card devoted to my business, and every time I swipe my card, anytime I need to do anything for my business, I swipe my card, or I use that particular card and I withdraw the funds directly from the account. That way, when it comes time for me to do business with my accountant, I can say, here's my year-long statement, and you can see all my transactions. I don't have to pull up all these receipts and bring them to them, and then they charge you. Those CPAs charge you, for each transaction and all those different receipts. And so it just makes life a lot easier if you do it that way.
Yeah. And there's also apps, if you want to take a picture, it'll just take a picture and send it off. So if you do want to go that route, you can, at the end of I wouldn't say year, but maybe a weekly basis, go through and compile them, itemize, or have your bookkeeper do that for you throughout the process. There's also simpler ways if you want to go that route, take a picture and do that. I've done that a few times. I'm like, Victoria, I'm really not good. I'm getting much better now. So I try to dedicate one day at the end of the week to writing down any expenses I may have. I have, what is that app? It's a Mile IQ. Mile IQ app allows you to, when you're driving, of course, you get a deduction for your gas usage if it's for business. So Mile IQ, if you download it on your phone, you can. Mile IQ is the name. Mile IQ. When you're driving, it has an option whether it's personal or for business. So if it's a business, then you tack in that it's a business, and then literally you'll get a report. Boom, this is how much you spent in terms of cost of your gas. So, you could just send that over to your accountant or or your bookkeeper if you're doing it throughout the year, and you're done writing off your gas expenses.
Yeah, because I'm telling you right now, I know you hear this all the time, but those little things do add up. They really add up. And before you know it, you've spent $5,000. And trust me, you want to write that off.
Don't get too crazy, because if they see 100% of your drives are business, that auditor is gonna be like, okay, something's not right. So you want to be careful, balance it out. If you're traveling, you could write that off. Your ticket expenses, your food expenses, all those things, but do not get crazy. Make 100% of your life all about your business, because they're gonna know that that's fraudulent. So just be careful.
Just like your home, some people try to write their home off and say that it's their office. And you have to be very careful about that. It's okay to utilize your home, but you have to literally have a designated area that is designated to your business and to your business only. And then of course, you can't write off your whole mortgage for that. There's a certain amount that you can, but in the event of being audited, they can and will come to your home, and that space cannot have double use. It can't be your office and then your kids' playroom.
And I think it has to have a bathroom in there. It's just I think it has, even if they do come. I've never seen it where the auditor came to somebody's house, and I've never seen it. But I think I've heard it has a bathroom. They're connected. But yeah, Yeah, but just be careful with those things, and just keep track. You'll be fine. You don't have to stress too much. Because I definitely, I have my stuff in my house, and honestly, they won't come there, but I don't know, designated just for that. But yeah, so you could definitely just be careful with how you're writing things off.
Yep. All right, so is there any other questions before we disconnect? I am so sorry about the beginning, guys, and I really appreciate your holding on there. I was trying to save you from this type of background. But if there's no other questions, we're going to disconnect because we've got to start getting things ready for our upcoming project. So again, if you're just joining us, Shaniqua and I are embarking on an endeavor together, which we are putting together, and we have been putting together a business plan writing course, writing, how to write a business plan course. Thank you. I've been talking all day. Okay, how to write a business plan course. Okay, so this is a self-paced course where you will go through all the everything you need to know and understand on how to write your business plan. We go through each module. I'll let Shaniqua explain a little bit further.
Yeah, so we're going to have about 10 or so modules, and we're going to basically break down a business plan for you guys into small sections so that you guys can get this business plan done. My business plan has helped me out in so many ways. Problems came up that if I did not write that plan down, I would not know would have came up. And because I did that, I was so much more successful and so much more prepared. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, this business course, the business plan is very extensive. It's actually like 28 pages long, but it will get you ready and prepared for your business. And you don't have to worry about being overwhelmed because we're going to walk you through each and every module. General company description, your marketing plan, financial plan, all of those things are going to help you all get that together. So especially if you're trying to build a school, so I think somebody said a at-home education service, homeschooling, like you want to make sure that you have all of that squared away long beforehand, because again, that reduces your risk throughout the process.
Yes, definitely. You want to know, you don't want to go crazy on your marketing, because if you said in your business plan, you're only going to put this much towards marketing. And then I'm telling you, remember I told you when you start your business, people start calling you. So when these companies start calling you, hey, we can market your business for you for $300 a month. And then before you know it, you're overextending the amount of funding that you said you were going to designate to that one particular area. Right. And now you put yourself in a hole and your business in a hole. And if like I know, you work so hard to get your business ready. You don't want to go outside of what you were planning just because someone else has called you with this fire drill and now you messed up your whole business over it, right?
Yeah, worst case is somebody that's like, I'm going to market to everyone. Failure number one with marketing, you don't market to everyone.
No.
If you're selling high heel shoes, you shouldn't be marketing to everyone. You should be marketing to women.
Are you
so
sure?
We want to make sure that we are spending our marketing dollars, the right amount and in the right place.
Right.
So all that would be.
So for my followers, if you get emails from me, you should have already gotten an email introducing this idea to you, and that we'll be actually launching this come January 20th. Okay. And so I'm giving a special rate to my followers and my followers only for $99 for this course. That's like really? Robbery. I'm letting y'all rob me, okay? But it's only going to be for a limited time. The course is going on pre-sale now, so I just shared the link with you guys. The course will go on pre-sale now until December 31st. Sorry, and after December 31st, it will go up to its actual intended rate, which I think I'm going to do at $199. See, it's actually worth way more than that. But I know that you're trying to start a business and you need to start somewhere and you don't want to put all of your money into that. I know for me, I spent $400 with someone helping me write my initial business plan for my business.
Like $500.
Yeah. Of course. So anyway, if this is something that you want to take advantage of, we are pre-selling it. All the information about the different modules and everything can be found at that link. So feel free to click it. And if it's something that you want to sign up for, like I said, $99, can't beat it with a stick. That's what grandma said, right? I don't know what it means, but that's what Grandma said. So if you have any questions about that, let us know also, because I definitely want to make sure that I answer your questions. And for those of you who are looking to open up a CNA school, because I've been there and done that, I'll be able to guide you in some of that area, because you may not know some of the answers to some of those questions without researching it on your own. So I've even done an additional step to research some of that stuff for you, like the target of population of individuals, just different things. So, or at least giving you the websites where you can get that information, and just kind of going above and beyond to give you the additional step that you need so you don't feel lost. Because if you're writing a business plan and if you've never wrote one before, it's a lot of research involved.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot of research
Very
involved.
overwhelming if you don't have somebody helping you out.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to provide you with different resources and links to figure out where to get that information. And because I've started a CNA school, if that's something you're looking to do, I'll be able to provide you with some of that. And even if you're not looking to start a CNA school, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be a great resource for you. It still has the basics and the fundamentals, and it still has information you can go to pull for research for that. Okay.
Deborah asked if we will be completing the business plan in this class. Yes.
Yes.
It'll be a full-on, complete business plan writing course. And I don't mean the little cheap 2-3 page business plan. I mean very extensive. If you're looking for funding, if you're looking to go to a bank, this is the kind of business plan that you want to bring so that they know that you know your stuff. So this is for people that are really serious about their business, maybe looking for money, looking for investors, because this is the type of business plan that they're looking for.
Yes, and that's why I told you guys, I've done this before, but I want to bring someone on who, this is what she does. This is her specialty. She has a very great wealth of knowledge in this topic. And so that's why I wanted to bring her along with me on this journey so that I can make sure that you guys get everything that you need and want. I can't tell you how many people I consult with who are halfway through starting a CNA school and haven't even written a business plan. So, you gotta have your business plan, and I want to make sure. I don't want to just tell you gotta do it and then all you gotta do is, no. I want to help give you that resource so that you can actually do it. And like you said, Deborah, from beginning to the end.
Yeah, and like people need to really understand planning is the most important part of anything. So don't be afraid to spend $99. She spent $400. I spent $500. Like in the beginning, once you plan everything else right, this should be the longest phase that you take, but that's what makes everything easier. So I highly suggest, if anyone to invest in anything when it comes to starting a business, getting that plan done and getting somebody that knows what they're doing to help you. I've never just started a business. I always look for some kind of mentor, always did some kind of plan beforehand. So it's just so key, because I've seen a lot of people get thrown off course and a lot of the people lose money and give up in this field.
Yep, that's true. Any other questions? Well, if not, I thank you guys so much for joining me, and we are going to, we'll probably record a more succinct video just to kind of hit the highlights, and I'll send it out for next week's Monday motivation to get you motivated to do the right thing. So thank you. Awesome advice. Thank you. I'm glad it was very helpful for you guys. I'm always here to help. So Victoria Randall,
Shaniqua Robinson.
We are out. Have a good one.